My two favorite holidays to celebrate in Sweden are Midsummer and Christmas. And Midsummer is a really, really special one for me, and I think all kinds of people in Sweden, because Sweden's a country where it's dark, it's cold for many, many months out of the year, and Midsummer is that celebration that kind of marks the beginning of summer. It's one of the longest days, or right around the summer solstice, usually the longest day of the entire year. And if you happen to be in Sweden on the longest day of the year, because Sweden is located so far north, it almost never gets dark. I'm right around Stockholm, which is right here in Sweden, and if you go north of Stockholm, the days this time of year just get longer and longer and longer. And if you're above the Arctic Circle, you actually have days of complete sunlight where the sun never goes down. Now, being an American that has lived in Sweden for over 4 years now, I've pretty much seen all of the different holidays that are around in Sweden, and I think Swedish people just get super excited for this holiday, even more excited for Midsummer than Swedish people's own national day, which is June 6th, I believe. Not too many people celebrate their own national day here. And that's kind of crazy being an American, because 4th of July is a huge deal where I'm from. Now, because Midsummer is such a big deal in Sweden, I went ahead and took some videos throughout our Midsummer celebration with some of my Swedish friends to explain and show for you guys a little bit more in depth how Swedish people celebrate this amazing holiday. Now, to start things off, this was my 4th Midsummer here in Sweden, and out of the 4 Midsummers that I've celebrated, it was great weather for 2 of them, and the other 2 were extremely questionable and had a lot of periods of rain throughout the day. So pretty much it seems like a 50-50 chance if you're gonna get great weather on this Midsummer holiday. Swedish people hate small talk but love to talk about the weather, so I thought I'd throw in that little detail for you guys. Now, when it comes to Midsummer in Sweden, I feel like there's 2 types of Midsummer celebrations. There's the very traditional Midsummer celebrations that include this maypole that sort of looks a little bit phallic. There's a big debate about what this represents. I'll let you guys make up your own mind. These type of celebrations also include people dancing around the pole, doing some little dances called the small frogs. You can't really make this stuff up. Swedish people be doing some really weird stuff at their holidays. I actually remember when I was a PE teacher down in Norrköping, and some of my colleagues suggested I teach my 4th grade students the frog dance, and they were showing me some videos of the frog dance on YouTube. And I was going, wow, do adults actually do this at parties here? Yeah, they actually do. With that being said, I've never actually been to a traditional Swedish Midsummer, and between me and my friend groups, it normally seems like just an excuse to get together and party. Booze seems to be a really big part of Midsummer for a ton of Swedish people. I mean, just look at this line outside the liquor store the day before Midsummer. There was people waiting for a long time, and this was just by the one by my place. I've seen videos on Instagram of people showing way, way longer lines at their local liquor stores. So pretty much at our parties, people bring whatever drinks they want to drink throughout the night, but then most people also bring some hard spirits to do the snapsvisor, or it's basically like the shots that you do between singing songs. And Swedish people love to sing songs. So when everybody's sitting down at lunch, which I'll get into in a little bit, everybody's sitting down at lunch, and then they're pouring some little shot glasses and singing some songs. I've now learned some of the main songs that people sing a lot, like Helan Går, which basically is a song called Drink It All Up. But then there's lots of other songs, and normally Swedish people are super organized. They'll actually print out a song book so that everybody can sing the words to the songs together. It's kind of like you're in church in America and you take the little book out from the pew and you're reading along and singing the songs. I don't know if anybody goes to church that's watching my channel, because most of you guys are Swedes and people don't really go to church that often here. Can I get an amen? But yeah, I just think that Swedish people are super organized. I've never been to a party in America where somebody prints out and gives you a songbook to read the songs and take the shots to. Normally people in America just find any excuse to take shots, and we don't need a song to get us going on that one, but sort of a cool tradition. Now, when it comes to food, this is one of my favorite parts of Midsummer. You can see the Midsummer feast here. There's so many foods that when I first moved to Sweden, I didn't really like them, like much at all, like the Baltic herring in the different sauces. Like they have this herring fish in like a mustard sauce, or like different types of spices and different sauces. and you usually eat it with like potatoes and cream and maybe like some onions and stuff in there. I really hated this when I moved to Sweden. I've never been a huge fish guy, but actually after 4 years of living here and eating it for pretty much every holiday, like Midsummer, Christmas, Easter, you guys really eat the same food on every holiday. I've started to learn to enjoy it a little bit. Maybe it's just like my brain associating this food that I found disgusting with really like happy and fun holidays, and now I'm like starting to like it. I don't know, I'm starting to become brainwashed, or I'm starting to become like actually Swedish now. But if you come from somewhere else, or if herring just really isn't your thing and you are Swedish, there's always the meatballs, which I think pretty much everyone can count on to enjoy. And at this Midsummer also, my friends made a homemade skorgan rora, which is like this shrimp dish with mayonnaise and stuff, and you can put it on top of bread. And the homemade one that we had was absolutely amazing. Shout out to Oscar who made the homemade mayo. That was pretty dang bomb. Another thing I have to say about Swedish holiday food traditions is that they eat the foods in a specific order. Like you're supposed to take all the cold foods first, like all the herring and different like cold things. I still wasn't 100% sure what I'm allowed to take and what I'm not supposed to take first. Like I remember at Christmas, I actually made a video about where I just went straight to it and got a bunch of meatballs and like beef and all those sorts of things first, and got a bunch of weird looks from my Swedish friends. I'll link that video up somewhere if you want to get that story in full detail. But yeah, now I'm starting to get the hang of it. I took the cold foods first, or at least I was looking around at my Swedish friends to see what they were taking, and then going back on the second round and getting the meatballs and all the things like the quiche, all those things that I really, really love. But yeah, the food is definitely a highlight. And then at the end, there's usually some sweet things like the strawberry cake. The strawberries in Sweden are a little bit smaller than the strawberries in America, and they're really sweet, and they're just so tasty. I like the strawberries here in Sweden more than the strawberries that we have in the US, and the strawberry cakes here are just super fire. Or if you guys want some American slang, the strawberry cake slaps. Another one of my favorite things about Swedish Midsummer is the games. I love how Swedish people love to play games at their parties. Normally, because we're living in a culture where it's like more socialistic and everybody's pitching in, it's like such a team effort, these holidays, which I actually really love. Like some people are assigned for the food. Some people are assigned for like printing out the songbooks that I was talking about earlier. Some people are in charge of like organizing the games. Like everybody's just sort of like pitching in to make the party happen, which I think is really cool. And so we've got like actual like game organizers that is separating everybody into teams, doing different games. We did some really fun games that involved drinking, where you had like flip the cup and you're going against two teams. And then we did some other games where I'm like sitting with a trash bag on me and having to bite into eggs, kind of like playing Russian roulette, trying to not bite into the egg that hadn't been cooked yet. Luckily, I didn't have to do that, so basically avoided the Russian roulette. But I had the garbage bag on, so I was fully prepared. This game, everybody had a tool that they had chosen off a table, not knowing what they had to use it for, and we were all trying to peel a potato and see who could peel the potato the fastest. Yeah, this was pretty entertaining. I wasn't involved in the actual potato peeling, but I had a good time just going around filming all the different groups. And then there's kube, which is a super traditional Swedish lawn game, which I actually really, really enjoy. Basically, you're throwing these sticks, trying to knock down the other team's sticks, and the first team to knock down all the other team's sticks and then knock down the king in the middle. At the end, they win. And basically, there's one other wrinkle after you knock down an opponent's stick. They have to throw it onto your side and knock it down before they can go for the sticks in your back row. If you're interested in learning more about it, again, the name is Kube, K-U-B-B, and I'm sure you can read the rules in depth online. When you're going for the king, you're supposed to like bend over and like throw the stick like between your legs, kind of like you're hiking in American football. So I'm normally like really, really good at this, and I actually was doing good at it that day, except for all the times that we were actually filming it. So here's some footage of me actually nailing some shots in beer pong, so you guys know that I'm not totally ass at playing lawn games. So between the drinks, food, games, and hanging out with friends, that's normally what our midsummers consist of, at least in my friend group. Some years we'll even do the flower crowns that are much more traditional. We didn't really do it this year, but many years we do it, and you can see people are wearing these crowns of flowers around their head. And there's actually this legend that if you have 7 different types of flowers and then you put them under your pillow when you go to bed, you're supposed to dream about your future spouse. I can't remember who I dreamed about, so I guess my future spouse position is still open. But yeah, that's about all I got for you guys in this video. I hope you enjoyed this sneak peek into our midsummer celebration. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you like this content about Sweden or other countries that I will be talking about in the future. I love having you guys here following along on my journey on my channel. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in another video.